Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Professor Nguyen, for that kind introduction. And I also like to thank Merck for inviting me to this symposium. I've been asked to talk on something which is quite a lot. It's difficult to cover thyroid diseases in one lecture. So I've been asked to mainly concentrate on the epidemiology and etiology of some of these thyroid diseases. In the details of some of the thyroid diseases will be talked to you by Professor Kahali and Professor Nimanshu. So the first is that these are the so-called common thyroid diseases that you probably be seeing in your clinic. Goiters, hyperthyroid, hypothyroid, thyroiditis, thyroid nodules, and thyroid cancers. So I'll be trying to cover this in as briefly as possible because, as mentioned, it is difficult to talk on this in details in this 45 minutes. But hopefully, the idea is for you to get some idea in terms of what the prevalence of it, and sometimes in terms of how you can make some diagnosis. Right. The first is probably when talk about any thyroid diseases, you cannot run away by talking about iodine deficiency diseases, which are common and are little prevalent in many parts of the world. It is quite common in the sense that these are due to mainly lack of iodine in salts. Because of this, then it's quite common in inland regions, mountainous areas, and areas where there's frequent flooding, because that will lead to leaching of iodine into the water. That's reason sometimes can also occur in island states and coastal regions because of rainfall and leaching of iodine from the soil. So many of the mountainous regions of the world, both in India, Europe, the States, and also South America, and Asia, of course, are areas of endemic iodine deficiency. And these areas will continue to remain iodine deficient until and unless they have enough iodine being supplied in the food, either through modern technology where iodine are added to food, or perhaps through iodization of salt, which is the current recommendation for many countries, where certain countries, for instance, make it is mandatory to only sell iodized salt in trying to combat this problem of iodine deficiency diseases. These are the recommendations for iodine intake by age of population group. Of course, the World Health Organization has their own recommendation, and as we all know, the US have their own recommendation. It's always the US versus the world. Recommendation for children is about 90 micrograms per day. For children 6 to 12, it's 120 micrograms per day. And adults, about 150 micrograms per day. And obviously, for pregnancy and lactation, the requirement is higher simply because of the fetal needs of iodine. This is a map of the iodine status in many countries. As you can see that there are still many countries who are iodine insufficient. It's considered about 32 countries, inadequate in 71 countries, and more than adequate in 36 countries, and inaccessible in 11 countries. So Vietnam is considered as iodine sufficient, so, which is a change. I think previously Vietnam used to be iodine insufficient, but I think you have already embarked on universal salt iodization. So that's one way of combating this disease. But nevertheless, some countries in the world are still inadequate. These are the spectrum of iodine deficiency disorders, and as you all know, it is just not goiter. It can affect all stages of life, from fetus all the way to adult. In fetus, iodine deficiency in the fetus will lead to miscarriage, stillbirth, congenital anomalies, increased perinatal morbidity and mortality, and endemic cretinism once born. In iodine deficiency, they onset in the neonate. They can have neonatal goiter, neonatal hypothyroidism, endemic mental retardation, and increased susceptibility to nuclear radiation. Obviously, they can cause thyroid cancers in the future. In child and adolescent, quite similar: goiter, impact mental function, increased susceptibility to nuclear radiation. In adult, you can have goiter, hypothyroid, impact mental function, spontaneous hyperthyroidism in the elderly, iodine-induced hyperthyroidism, and increased susceptibility to thyroid gland and nuclear radiation. This normally occurs when someone is iodine deficient, and then they get enough iodine, then they can become thyrotoxic or hyperthyroid. Coming to goiters, essentially there are two types of goiters. Can be sporadic or endemic, and can be diffuse or multinodular. So endemic goiters normally occurs in iodine deficiency areas, and sporadic goiters, there are quite a few common causes for that. The goiters are the most common of all the thyroid disorders of the thyroid gland, and the influence is very much dependent on the status of iodine intake of the population. Of course, if the population is iodine deficient, then the prevalence of goiters will be much higher. In general, in iodine sufficient countries, the prevalence of goiter, usually here defined as a visible goiter, is not higher than 4%. Okay? So, but if it's higher than that, normally suggests that there is endemic iodine insufficiency. What are the factors that are involved in the evolution of multinodular goiter? There are primary factors, and most of these primary factors are related to the gene. Function homogeneity of the normal follicular cells, most probably due to genetic or position of new inheritable qualities by replicating the cells. Sometimes when cells replicate, there will be some changes in the genes that make it more susceptible for them to grow and form nodules. As the cells grow, as the thyroid grows, there may be also functional and structural abnormalities which can lead to the formation of multinodular goiters. Secondary factors for the evolution of multinodular goiters include elevated TSH, induced by iodine deficiency, one of the commonest ones, natural goitrogens, inborn errors of thyroid hormone synthesis, smoking, stress, certain drugs, thyroid-stimulating factors such as the IGF-1, endogenous factor, gender. Here tends to be females. Females are more prone to get goiters and other thyroid diseases as well. This is just a cartoon of the possible pathogenesis of multinodular goiter. The primary factors, as I mentioned, and secondary factors that can give rise to some decrease in serum thyroid hormone, T4, which will decrease inhibition of TSH producing T2 cells, give rise to elevated release of TSH, and this will cause diffuse goiter. This can sometimes change due to becomes multinodular because of the different abdominal functionality of each cell, and of course later on there may be metagenesis, change in stress, hemorrhage, cystic areas that gives rise to fibrosis. So in the multinodular goiter, you have nodules and fibrosis because of the changes that we get. And you can also get calcium deposits in some of these nodules. These are the natural goitrogens associated with multi-nodal goiter. You have millet and soybean, cassava, coconut, the cabbage, cauliflower, seaweed, mainly to iodine excess, malnutrition, iodine deficiency, and selenium deficiency, and these are the agents which are found in these goitrogens that are hypothesized to be causing goiters, and this is how the mechanism of how it causes goiters. Like for instance, flavonoid would impair peroxidase, the thiocyanase would inhibit iodine uptake, and glucosinolates impair uptake as well, and for excess iodine, the immediate release of hormones, and so on. So these are the various goitrogens, the possible agents that are present in these goitrogens, and the possible mechanism as how it can cause goiters. These are the inherited disorders of thyroid hormone genetic system, which are associated with diffuse and multi-nodal goiter. Usually these are the ones that are causing the so-called sporadic goiter. The affected process of iodine trapping, this is the gene responsible for it. This is where the chromosomes are located. And for iodine influx and follicular lumen, these are the substance pending. These are the genes associated with it, and this is where the chromosome is located, and so on. You have the matrix hormone protein synthesis, which affects thyroglobulin, organification, coupling reaction, which affects peroxidase, and also the hydroperoxide generation, which is co-substrate for the peroxidase, and so on. These are the genes responsible for it, and these are the chromosomes where they are attached. So these are causes of sporadic goiters, which can occur sometimes in early childhood. So the natural history of some of these goiters is that it starts in teenage years. Usually regresses, but occasionally, more commonly in girls, it persists and undergoes further growth during pregnancy. And it often grows gradually for a period of many years. So it's not sudden, it's slowly growing. And if the goiter is present for a long time, then thyrotoxicosis develops in a large number of patients, especially once they reach the elderly age group. Because some of this becomes autonomous. So with passage of time, this autonomous function of nodules develop. And as mentioned, this can give rise to hyperthyroidism. And in several areas which are previously iodine deficient, introduction of iodine supplementation can give rise to hyperthyroidism, and this is non-autoimmune. And it's probably by excessive thyroid hormone production by the so-called HOT, or the autonomous thyroid nodules. What about the relationship between multi-nodal goiter and cancer? In several studies, surgical specimens of multi-nodal goiter, about 4 to 17% of these are found to harbor carcinoma. There's lower prevalence of thyroid cancer in multi-nodal goiter compared to single nodules, particularly in iodine deficient areas. So the risk of cancers in M and G is not as high as in single thyroid nodules, but it's still there. The incidence vary between 7.5 to 56 per 1 million persons per year, so it's still rather on the low side. And the normal cancers found in multi-nodal goiters are usually papillary cancers, and normally it's, the degree of invasiveness is rather low. Now we'll talk on hyperthyroidism. These are the common causes of hyperthyroidism, grave disease, toxic multi-nodal goiter. and autonomous functional integrate. Professor Khalid will be speaking that in more detail. Martin Goita, perhaps Professor, let me be talking about that. The random causes, paradigms, other causes of distraction, paradox practitioner, excessively taking a lot of hormone for some reason. Iodine excess is so-called based on phenomenon, stroma override, and secondary causes such as TSH or the beta HCG overproduction. There are also drug-associated psychosis. Some of the drugs which are commonly amiodarone can cause two types of psychosis. Can be iodine-induced, which is often called type 1, and also called thyroiditis, often called type 2. Lithium can cause painless thyroiditis, so AGF disease. Interferon alpha, interleukin 2 can also cause painless thyroiditis and can also give rise to thyrotoxicosis. Iodinated contrast in patients who have underlying thyroid autonomy, perhaps this patient already have the thyroid nodule, long-standing thyroid nodule, tyrosine kinase inhibitors, radioactive iodine, early causing destruction, and radioactive iodine for toxic methylene water, which are late, and these are the agents that are known to be associated with toxicosis. Other unusual causes of toxicosis are TSH producing adenoma, and this is how you can diagnose it. Stroma override, choriocarcinoma, measured by thyrotoxic practitioner, and partial thyroid cancer metastasis. So, and this is how diagnosis of this thyrotoxicosis are made. Now we'll go to toxic adenoma as another cause of thyrotoxicosis. Approximately 1 in 10 or 20 solitary nodules can present with hyperthyroidism. That will be more common in women than in men, and more common in countries with insufficient nutritional iodine intake compared to those who have sufficient iodine intake. The signs and symptoms do not differ from other etiologies, but perhaps the classic signs of Graves' disease, for instance, endocrine ophthalmopathy, pretibial edema, and acropathy are normally absent because these tends to be more as a feature of Graves' disease. The pathogenesis of this so-called toxic adenoma, there's really some mutation in this GNS1 gene encoding stimulatory gene protein-associated subunit, which gives rise to persistent activation of adenylyl cyclase, and this gives rise to enhanced proliferation and function of the thyrocytes. And there are also somatic mutations of TSH receptors that can give rise to this autonomous nodule, causing increase in production of thyroid hormones. There may be other somatic mutations, and iodine deficiency serves as a modulating factor. So that's the reason why that will be more common in iodine deficient areas. We talk about subclinical hyperthyroidism. Prevalence in adult population very much depends on age, sex, and iodine intake. Older group tends to be more common in female, and of course higher if there is increase in iodine intake. In the US study, about 0.7% of the study population had a suppressed TSH, defined as less than 0.1 millination unit per liter, and 81.8% had a low TSH level, defined as less than 0.4 millionit per liter. Higher prevalence in women and older subjects, as I mentioned, and the natural history of subclinical hyperthyroidism is variable. 0.5 to 7% progress to overt hyperthyroidism, and about another 5 to 12% reverse to normal TSH level. So this is something that probably we need to be aware of, that some patients may actually progress to overt hyperthyroidism. The most common cause of subclinical hyperthyroidism is the toxic multinodular goiter. And subclinical hyperthyroidism is not benign. There is studies to show that it can give rise to increase in overall mortality, cardiovascular mortality, heart failure, arrhythmias, especially atrial fibrillation, and osteoporosis and fractures. So that's the reason why perhaps we have to be careful and diagnose and treat in certain patients. Now to hypothyroidism. These are the various causes of hypothyroidism, which I'm sure many of you are quite familiar. Most common is probably autoimmune hypothyroidism, which I'm sure Professor Kahili will be talking into why. There's iatrogenic, normally as a result of radioactive treatment or thyroidectomy, or in certain cases external irradiation of the neck due to, for instance, cancers of the head and neck. The certain drugs can also give rise to hypothyroidism, such as iodine excess, lithium, and obviously anti-thyroid drug. Iodine deficiency is probably the most common cause of hypothyroidism. And certain infiltrative disorders of the thyroid, which are not common, amyloidosis, sarcoidosis, hemochromatosis, and scleroderma. What about the prevalence and incidence of thyroid antibodies and hypothyroidism? This is taken from the Wickham survey done from the UK. Prevalence of thyroid antibody positive in women is about 30 per 1,000, and in men about 9 per 1,000. Prevalence of macrosomal or thyroid peroxidase antibodies 10 per 100, 103 per 1,000, and 27 per 1,000 men. Prevalence of subclinical hypothyroidism 75 per 1,000 for female and 28 per 1,000 men. And hypothyroidism 18 per 1,000 and in men 1 per 1,000. And the incidence of hypothyroidism is about 4.1 per 1,000 per year in women, and in men about 0.6 per 1,000 per year. For again, it's more common in men compared to women. Certain hypothyroidism are reversible, and these are the causes of hypothyroidism which can cause reversible hypothyroidism. Chronic autoimmune thyroiditis, about 5%. So majority, of course, are not reversible. Postpartum thyroiditis, up to 80% are reversible. Subacute thyroiditis, almost 100%. Postoperative and post-riding hypothyroidism, which is not unusual, i.e. they don't reverse post the abdominal. Either induced myxedema, quite high with chance of reversibility, and drug-induced hypothyroidism, of course, is high. The moment you remove the drug, then the patient will be euthyroid. So this is something that also we need to be aware of when we have patients diagnosed with hypothyroidism. Some of them may be actually reversible. Subclinical hypothyroidism affects about 4 to 8% of the population. They're more common in women, more common in elderly subjects, and more common in IV-treated areas. And spontaneous normalization of TSH varies from about 5 to 50%, and progression to overt hyperthyroidism is about 2 to 3% per year. But if the person has thyroid antibodies, then the progression can be higher, 4 to 5% a year. The complications of subclinical hypothyroidism, it's not benign disease. It can cause some morbidity, impact cognitive functions, mood disturbances, can give rise to hypertension, dyslipidemia, and can reduce risk of cardiovascular morbidity and mortality. And so again, something that we need to be aware of, make a diagnosis and treat in certain patients to prevent these complications. Now to thyroiditis. Thyroiditis can be classified into three: acute, subacute, and chronic. Acute usually rare and normally due to suppurative infection of the thyroid. Subacute also termed due to veins or granular thyroiditis. These are mostly viral in origin. And chronic thyroiditis are mostly autoimmune. These are caused by the main cause of it is Hashimoto's. Of all thyroiditis, the most common is Hashimoto, and this is also the most common cause of long-term hypothyroidism. The outcome of all other types of thyroiditis are normally good and will eventually return to normal thyroid function. Acute thyroiditis is made up 0.1 to 0.7% of thyroid disease. The most common bacterial causes is staph and streptococcus, fungus, Aspergillus, Candida, Histoplasma, Rhamnocystis, and we have radiation thyroiditis, and immutable, as I mentioned, can also cause acute thyroiditis. Usually, results with painful thyroid with high ESR, but the thyroid functions are normal. Subacute thyroiditis is probably more common than acute. 5% of patients with thyroid illness, these are viral, mumps, pox, influenza, adenovirus, and echoviruses can cause subacute. They are affecting mainly male influenza. There are three phases: painful, enlarged thyroid, but there's usually complete resolution of the symptoms. Silent thyroiditis, there's no tenderness of thyroid as opposed to the other types of thyroiditis where it's associated with pain. These are sometimes often called postpartum thyroiditis because maybe mostly in 3 to 6 months after pregnancy. The three phases: hypo with an eventual resolution, and last 12 to 20 weeks. The ESR is normal, and the thyroid peroxidase antibody is sometimes present. There usually no treatment necessary, except for symptomatic treatment, because most of these cases actually resolve. This is the clinical cost for subacute thyroiditis. Then you have initial phase thyrotoxic, which reduce the thyroid iodine uptake and suppress the level. Later become full thyroid, and then can become hypothyroid with the classical in terms of the laboratory investigation, where typical of hypothyroid, low hormone, slightly increase in the thyroid uptake, and increase in the TSH. Subsequently, most of these patients will return to euthyroid state. Chronic thyroiditis is Hashimoto's, as it's autoimmune. Initially, it can present with goiter, but later on, there may be very little thyroid tissue because of the destruction. It's rarely associated with pain. The onset is rather insidious and is normally progressive. By far, the most common cause of hypothyroidism and thyroid peroxidase antibodies are present in about 90 to 95% of the cases. Okay. The other type of chronic thyroiditis, but more rare, is Riddle's thyroiditis. It's rare and is a form of chronic sclerosing thyroiditis. Occurs in middle infant, you're normally painless, and sometimes because of the sclerosing, you can get symptoms of compression because of the development of dense fibrosis, but the thyroid function tends to be very normal. Okay? So if you have a woman presenting with thyroid nodule and having symptoms of compression, which is probably with reverse thyroiditis, but again it's rare. Okay? Of course, diagnosis is made by a biopsy. Now, a look on the thyroid cancers. In general, the incidence varies in different registries, ranging from 1.2 to 2.6 per 100,000 immunized in men and 2 to 3.8 per 100,000 in women. The autopsy studies indicate frequency ranging from 0.01 to over 2%. And the annual mortality as thyroid cancer is one of the better cancer in the sense that the mortality is rather low, approximately 5 per million per woman and per man, and about 6 per million per woman. So usually the mortality is rather low, especially for the differentiated thyroid cancers. The classification of thyroid cancer, we have differentiated. It can be papillary adenocarcinoma. Papillary adenocarcinoma, a pure papillary adenocarcinoma, can be follicular variant of papillary adenocarcinoma. The other variants, and they also have follicular adenocarcinoma, which is is another form of differentiated carcinoma. Then we have the medullary carcinoma, and of course lastly is the undifferentiated carcinoma, giant cell or choriocarcinoma. Approximately 70% of all thyroid cancers are papillary. They occur in non-toxic nodal lymphomas in about 4 to 17% of cases. And the reason perhaps for the slightly higher is perhaps because of the efficiency of selecting patients for operation. I.e., most doctors or endocrinologists, when they refer patients to the surgeons for operation, they'll probably be referring cases where they think the likelihood of cancer is high. So that's why it tends to be rather on the high side. And relationship of thyroid cancer to other is still debatable. If you have underlying thyroid disease, can it give rise to thyroid cancer later? So again, that is actually quite debatable in the sense that perhaps it is not related, and some say it is related. Papillary carcinoma specifically, peak incidence in the third and fourth decade of life, 3 times more frequent in women than in men. Made up of 60 to 70% of all thyroid cancers in adults, and approximately 70% of those in children. It tends to metastasize locally to the lymph node, but it may also metastasize to the lungs. But most of it is usually a local metastasis. For there is a follicular variant where the follicular metastasis may be active in forming thyroid hormones. Mortality is rare in patients diagnosed before age 40, and the risk of death is increased by extrathyroid invasion, metastasis, and age over 45 years and size over 2 centimeters. So these are the known risks for mortality, increased mortality in patients with papillary carcinoma. For follicular carcinoma, it's about 1/4 of all thyroid carcinomas. Peak incidence in the 5th decade of life, so slightly older compared to papillary. Again, more common in women, and they tend to invade locally as well as metastasize distant to bone and lungs, as opposed to papillary, where it tends to be more local. For medullary carcinoma, it's even more rare or less common compared to both papillary and follicular, because this is about 2 to 8% of all thyroid cancers. It is derived from the C or the parafollicular cells, which secretes calcitonin. This is one thyroid disease where there seems to be an equal incidence between female and male, 1:1. It may occur sporadically, about 70% of total, or as part of the multiple endocrine neoplasia 2 syndrome. The men syndrome, the previously 2A, biothyroid carcinoma, pheochromocytoma, parathyroid hyperplasia, and adenomas. or the main tree, or previously known as main B, binary thyroid carcinoma associated with mucosal neuromas, pheochromocytomas, occasionally trophy or a spot, possibly Turner syndrome, where there is mucocutaneous pigmented nevi and small intestinal polyps. So these are associated with the main tree syndrome. Then lastly, to anaplastic thyroid cancer. This is a more aggressive cancer and responsible for 1.7% of all thyroid cancer. So it is less common compared to papillary, follicular, or even medullary, but it is quite high mortality. Global prevalence is about 3.6% of all thyroid cancer. In several countries, the prevalence of anaplastic thyroid cancer has increased dramatically, due in part to increased dietary iodine and better management of new patient thyroid cancers, because some differentiated thyroid cancers can change into anaplastic thyroid cancers. So better managed, then perhaps the risk of them becoming anaplastic will be reduced. The median survival is about 5 months, and the 1 year survival rate is only about 20%. So it is quite an aggressive type of tumor. It typically occurs in patients with previous frontal benign or malignant thyroid disorders. More than 80% of anaplastic thyroid cancer patients present with extensive invasion, 69% tracheal invasion, 55% superior invasion, and 39% portal active involvement. So by the time patients tend to present with metastasis or invasion. The prognostic features include socioeconomic status. Lower socioeconomic status can give rise to higher mortality. Tumor stage, the higher, the more advanced, the more likely mortality. Increasing age and also sex, more severe in male compared to female. So in summary, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned, it's a very broad overview. I have to just go through, just call it touch and go. Rather than go into the details because it is quite comprehensive. Thyroid diseases are common. Yes, I think it's a bit be aware of. This is probably the most common endocrine disease if we exclude diabetes. Then some diseases are asymptomatic. I think this is the reason why you have to have a very high index of suspicion and perhaps screening in certain high risk regions. For example, subclinical hyper and hypothyroidism. And it's important for clinicians to detect because of the sequelae or consequences that it have on the patient. Early diagnosis and treatment for hypothyroidism, thyroid cancers are important because it can improve patients' quality of life and also patients' survival. So thank you very much for your attention.